Good to be back home after taking 2 tough ones on the road. Being back home, being in front of our crowd, friendly rims in the first half, which was really, really good. But within the process, thought this was one that was good for us to get as we're continually trying to get better as a ball club.
Now, obviously, red hot first half. You're shooting it well. You're, 1 turnover. You're sharing it well. That may, that may have been your best half of basketball. And then in the second half, it just, it was a lot more of a struggle. What, was it just, lack of focus? Utah State making some adjustments, at least from your vantage point. What was the biggest difference from the first to second half?
I thought we started to settle a little bit as far as the 3-point shot. And my thing is, and what I mean by that is popping it around the perimeter and shooting versus somebody being assertive and attacking, playing within the paint, playing off 2, making them collapse and playing inside to out, from a 3-point shot standpoint. But, I would say just like most kids, I was that way as a player. As much as you want to say at halftime 0-0 is the score, in actuality, you're up 18-20 and they understand that. But, I was probably more disappointed on the defensive end of the floor. But I didn't think we did a great job of listening to our defensive game plan, especially in the second half. But happy to come away with the win and learn from that.
Can you talk about your ball movement in the first half and just, 1 turnover and at one point I think it was like 12 assists on 14 field goals, something along those lines?
Well, again, I thought this break was really good for us, especially for the staff, in the sense of just assessing the program and where we're at. And I thought, on the road, even though I thought we were getting good looks, I didn't think spacing, ball movement, body movement was really good. So that was a point of emphasis in these couple of practices leading into this game was, spacing for your teammate, giving your teammate an opportunity to be assertive and making a play, and then get the ball moving, and then also get bodies moving, and especially with them changing up defenses. My thing is always do not try to figure out if they're man in their zone or if they're matchup or triangle or 2 or whatever. Just play basketball, move the ball and move body and just space for each other.
Cody getting to start again. He's played minutes, and you said it's always about, next man up or whoever's ready. But I thought he gave you a good spark and kind of assess the way he played and what he maybe gave you tonight.
Well, obviously, Leibs was dealing with the flu. Actually worked out today with us at shoot around, but didn't practice the last 2 days. So, next man up. Cody got a nod, but not only him, but I just love what we have here, and I think he's an example of that. I think he's a very tough kid. I think he's a high basketball IQ kid, a guy that can make shots. Tough enough to go in there and try to score over some bigs sometimes, even though I may not like it. But he has that toughness about him. But I thought he did a good job. I thought he did a good job with the minutes. And he's never been a kid to complain whether he plays, a lot or a little. So I was excited about that.
Even back at Fresno, he gets, I think, 3 threes there. Do you see his confidence building, or was that ever? Was his confidence ever an issue?
Cody ain't never had a problem with confidence, even before coming here. To be honest with you, the little bit I saw of him in high school, and even when he went down to Florida for the prep school year, he's never had an issue in that department. He's just a tough, hard-nosed, hard-working kid, and to me, he puts in the work to have that type of confidence, and I like that. I like that about him. So, I would say he would continue to just play that way. I'm big on just guys playing with confidence.
In the second half there, it seemed like, the rhythm changes a little bit and J-Max gets the technical, comes out for a bit. Did it feel like the guys kind of had to refocus at a certain point, and do you think they got there?
Yeah, well, I don't know if we ever got there, but another thing we had an opportunity to do was assess just late game or understanding when to push versus, okay, let's run offense. And I thought in the period in the second half, we started to get a little bit more careless with the basketball. Sloppy turnovers, not forced turnovers. And then, a couple of times, my thing to them was the clock is our enemy. We don't need to be as aggressive trying to score the basketball. So let's work them, make them play defense, and eventually, make them foul us, and let's go, make some free throws or whatnot. But, that's that learning process with us, because you're saying in the first half, let's go, man. Let's get that thing up and down the floor, be assertive, move the basketball, shoot open shots. But we still have to understand time, score, and when to be aggressive and when to be aggressive-minded while understanding what the score and what the time is on the clock.
Thought, Gorski the last, I think 4 games in double digits coming off the concussion. I mean, it's maybe the best rhythm he's been in, at least, since the concussion or earlier this season. Or how would you assess just his play recently?
I think he's playing with a lot of confidence, and when the shot goes in, that always helps your confidence. But again, I think he's one of our better IQ basketball guys as well. And as we continue to go, we'll need him to continue to play to that level. Not to the point that he has to go 6 for 8, but he has to be assertive enough to shoot when he's open, to have that opportunity to go 6 for 8. So I think he's been great, not only on that end of the floor, but I think he's actually been one of our better defensive guys in understanding how to carry out our scouting report from a defensive standpoint. But I've been really happy just with his whole demeanor and his approach these last few games.
For Jeremy and Mo going forward, what are their stats?
Gosh, Mo had a great day of practice, man. And then today he showed up and he was sick. He got the little bug going around, and I know it's been frustrating for him. Again, I just think he's a piece that we could eventually use at some point, but it just seems something keeps preventing that from happening. Leeds is all right. I thought he came today. He got through shoot around fine. I just wanted to use him on a need base because he just didn't practice the last 2 games, so I didn't feel comfortable playing him without practicing the last couple of games.
You got Nevada. I know you're always you'll look at them more, but I know you saw them last weekend. Just what are your thoughts on Nevada? I know they're not in first place, but they're still among the best teams in this league. So what are your thoughts on Nevada? Because looks like you'll have your hands full Saturday.
Coach Muss has done a great job with the program, and they're a talented group. Again, they got a lot of fight in them, especially after watching what they did at New Mexico. That was unbelievable. But it's an opportunity for us, again, to see where we're at, as a program. If the minds of the media and the coaches, think that they're one of the better teams in this league. And I'm a firm believer that 1 through 13 on any given night, everybody has to show up, lace them up, and play basketball. So I'm just excited that we get them here first on our home floor. I'll take a look at them. I'll start looking at them tomorrow, and we'll be prepared when they come in.
Congratulations. Obviously, red hot first half, not so much in the second. But what was kind of the big difference? Was it just playing with the big lead? Because they got down to 6. But what was the difference from the first to second half?
I think that in the first half, we were moving the ball a lot better. I think we only had 1 turnover the whole first half. In the second half, they went on a run, and we know that basketball is a game of runs, but I think we had, I said, we had one turnover in the second half, first half. Second half, turnovers definitely kept up their run, so I don't think we did a good job of that, taking care of the ball.
It seemed like, Alex, you hit 6 threes, that, was a career high. Hayden, I think everyone was hitting threes in that first half. Did it maybe just think it just came a little easy and just hard to get that focus back coming out of the locker room for the second half?
I mean, I don't know. I think we kind of, they were kind of baiting us into shooting those shots in the first half, at least me. And in the second half, they were making it way tougher for us to get those easy three-pointers off. And we got to do a better job of having a balance of attacking the rim and shooting those open shots. I think we kind of started settling a little bit for a while.
In games, I think Cornell was one of them where you guys got up a lot early. We talked about, it's a little tougher to keep the gas pedal down when you're leading by so much. Was it that kind of similar tonight, or was it maybe just stuff they changed up at halftime?
I think their coach, probably definitely got them on a halftime, but we can't have that be our excuse. I think we let up too much sometimes in the second half when we're up, especially on the defensive end, and just being lackadaisical and lazy sometimes just because we're up. I think we just need to keep our identity on the defensive end like the whole game, no matter what. So.
What was the big difference? Was there a play or anything? I mean, you never lost the lead, obviously, in the second half. Was there a play or sequence where you just would kind of put you at ease a little bit, or was there really ever that until the final buzzer went off?
Yeah, I definitely think that in the second half we had a couple charge attempts that didn't go our way, and that resulted in either a bucket or an and one for them, and so that kind of sparked it. But I think that when Hayden had a layup at the end there, and J-Mac had two free throws at the end, that kind of sealed the deal, and I think everybody felt a little more comfortable after that.
Coach seemed a little pissed in the second half, and when he was getting on you guys, what was he saying to you?
Kind of what I was saying. We were just being lazy on defense. We weren't really on defense. We weren't corralling or doing our ball screen coverages correctly, and just weren't talking. We were just being lazy on the defensive end, and so he was just frustrated with that.
Yeah, he was talking about energy. Coach is a huge energy guy. I mean, we're an energy team. That's what in the first half everyone had energy, on defense, on offense, and then when they were making their run, our energy level just dropped, and then they had energy. So I think that was a big deal. Is we had to match them, their aggressiveness, and not play on our heels.
Alex, you said they were kind of baiting you into taking those threes in the first half. Were you surprised at all by that? And is that probably the best shooting half that you've had in your career?
Yeah, it might be. Probably is.
Yeah, it's not very smart to leave him open.
Swedish sniper, baby.
They were kind of baiting me a little bit. They weren't closing out hard on me or anything. And then once I hit a couple, then I just was really hunting a three and trying to look for it. Then they started face guarding me the second half. So I got to do a better job of trying to make other people better and find other ways to impact the game when they take me out like that.
I think this is 4 straight games with double figures for you coming off that concussion. Is you in as good a rhythm now as you've been at least this season, or even going back to last season? Are you feeling pretty good about that right now?
Yeah, I'm feeling pretty good. Definitely starting to get in the flow kind of, and confidence is high, and yeah, I'm feeling pretty good.
Cody, you make your first start. I know you played minutes, not like you haven't played, but was that anything different for you? Were you a little more nervous, or did you think much about it? And obviously you played very well. What was that like for you tonight?
It was great, but I mean, it didn't make no difference to me whether I was starting or coming off the bench. I just want to go out there and play basketball. Like my coaches and my dad's always said, it's really not about who starts the game; it's about who finishes it. And as long as we can get the win, and that's the biggest thing for me is I just want to be a part of getting the win. I want to be a factor in that. So,
for any of you guys, with Cody in there again, doesn't matter who starts or anything like that. But what does Cody bring, and what did he bring tonight, for instance, in this game?
I mean, he was attacking off the ball screens, and well, like we've always said, just whenever your time is, if you're starting to come off the bench, just be ready. And he was ready to play, and he had 6 assists and
4 rebounds.
Yeah, so he was just affecting the game, filling up the stat sheet, playing defense, guarding all their guys, and just doing everything you could. So it was awesome to see.
You know, Coach kind of brought up turnovers as something to work on after I think that UNLV game. What worked so well in the first half that you guys were only able to have one?
I think we're just, Coach always used the word assertive, and we're just really confident, and we're looking to be aggressive, but kind of poised at the same time. And then we tend to get a little out of control and go on a run with a couple of turnovers in a row, and we need to clean that up in order to get where we want to get.
You know, it was about this game, but you got Nevada coming in. They're, you know, among the leaders. You know, I don't know if you saw the game last Saturday where they come back from 25 and win. Just what are your initial thoughts on Nevada? Because it seems like they're pretty loaded right now.
Yeah, very, very good team. I think they're 14-2 or somewhere around there. They have a great record. They're playing well right now, but they're coming here, and we want to defend our home, just like everybody else does in the league, and that's one of the biggest things. And so we're just going to try and come out and play our game.
You know, that again, I know it's about 40 minutes, but that first half was about as good as maybe you guys have played, at least in conference play. Is that pretty make you feel pretty confident? I mean, I know you want to finish it, but to know that you can put a half together like that, and maybe even a game, is that even more motivation to do that for all 40 minutes?
Oh yeah, that's big time. I mean, confidence is a huge thing for us. Like, we want to play with confidence. We want to play assertive. We don't want to play passive at all. So I mean, just even with that half, regardless of the second half, I think everyone has a high level of confidence and ready to go in and play Nevada. I think this is the only time we play them. I don't think we go to Nevada, so there's no second chances with this team. I just can't wait to play them. So.
Could you tell, was it nice shooting at home again in that first half?
Yeah.
It's always nice to be home.
Yeah, it is.
Always fun to be home.
Yeah, because usually when we play on the road, we're playing with different basketballs. I think we're the only team in the conference that uses the Wilson, or else we're playing with Nike balls or something. So it feels good to.
Yeah. They'll start
Bet.
falling. They'll start falling away too.
Oh, yeah, they'll fall. It doesn't matter as long as it's round and can bounce, right?
Yeah.
Steve?
Yeah.